Welcome to Takeoffs and Touchdowns, where today we're going to be doing something slightly different. We're going to be taking you along with me on a trip to Washington Dulles with Delta on their A220-300. Today we're starting off at Delta's touchless bag drop. If you have TSA PreCheck, this is a must. It is a lot quicker and a lot smoother than the regular check-in counters. Between bag drop and security, I always get a burst of excitement. I love flying and I love making these types of videos, and I'm super happy that you guys are choosing to join me for this. So I got to the airport like 4 hours before my flight. Why? Why not? It took 30 minutes to go through security, and so I had time to kill, so the plan was to lounge hop. Instead of taking the plane train between concourses, I always walk. It's like a mini museum / art gallery. The vibes are amazing. If you haven't done it, I recommend you do it. So after about a 15-minute walk, I arrived at the Concourse D Sky Club. Now let me tell you, this place is brand spanking new and it was beautiful. I will say this lounge was a bit crowded, but I mean, that's expected when you're in Atlanta and it's the newest, Sky Club. But I will say these windows were absolutely sweet. The view over the ramp was immaculate. It floated my boat, and I sat down for a few minutes and watched the planes before I went to get some food, and I was thoroughly disappointed. I don't know if I came at a bad time or something, but this buffet was picked clean. All the good food was gone. Those hot plates are closed because they were empty. I opened them and I closed them again out of disappointment. So here's my plate: cornbread, kale Caesar salad, and beer style chicken, and a nice bougie cup of water. So after a few minutes in the Concourse D Sky Club, I shifted over to the Centurion Lounge and Concourse E. This was my first time in the Centurion Lounge, and I was thoroughly blown away. I really enjoyed the aesthetic, so I just spent a few minutes just walking around, taking the whole thing in. And I'm happy to say the food lived up to the aesthetic. They kept the food bar perfectly stocked with fresh food, and it tasted about as good as it looked. I'm no Gordon Ramsay, so please don't judge the plate. It tasted a lot better than it looked. So at this point, I had about an hour and a half until my flight, so I really settled in for some plane spotting. So a few minutes before my flight started boarding, I ran over to the Sky Club for a brownie run. If you know, you know. So a little bit about the airplane taking us up to Dulles today. Delta's A220-300 seats about 130 passengers, and today I'll be riding up front in seat 1D. I've always loved the A220, the clean design, the massive windows, and of course, those well-called engines. So I was really excited to see if it actually lived up to the hype. Delta is currently the largest A220 operator in the world, with about 80 flying today and 65 more on order. Long term, the plan is for the A220 to eventually replace the 717 fleet. And my first impression is that the windows are massive. And now it's time for my favorite part of the flight, the takeoff. So you can just sit back and enjoy the action. So after reaching cruising altitude, the flight attendants came around with our beverage, and of course I chose the ginger ale, the goat of flying beverages. So after a while, I went to the restroom and I was surprised to see a window in the bathroom. You can't beat that. And if you're worried about somebody seeing you, if they can see you up here, you should have a few more questions. The 2-3 layout is one of my favorites. If you love window seats, the A220 is undefeated. And so far, this aircraft is living up to my expectations. As we passed over Charlotte, I couldn't help thinking I should go back for another spotting trip. If you haven't seen my last Charlotte video, it is linked above. After what felt like 30 minutes, our approach got pretty interesting. A little more about that go around. We were doing some S-turns. I was literally looking down the runway. It was pretty trippy. And here's a picture, a subscriber, Saturn Lord's Aviation. He caught from the ground. I just want to give him a shout out because, you know, right place at the right time.
From the flight deck here, this is your captain speaking. Do apologize. As I'm sure you could tell, we did have to discontinue our approach into the Dulles area. It looks like due to the heavy traffic coming in, air traffic control did keep us a little bit higher than we could continue a safe approach. So we did attempt to try to continue safely, but again, just for the best decision was to go ahead and go around and try one more time. We're just going to be circling around to set up for the runway once again, and then we'll be on the ground here in just about 5 to 7 minutes, and we'll have you there shortly at a gate. Thank you very much. We'll be landing shortly.
And just let me be clear, I'm not trying to make this go around seem like a life or death situation. It's just something us av geeks we live for. I mean, it's something that you don't experience every day, and it's pretty cool. I really appreciated the explanation from the pilot, and so let's sit back and watch our second attempt at landing. So overall, after the flight, the A220 ranks pretty high on my personal list of aircraft I've been on. I'll post that on the screen. It's not like some end-all be-all, it's just my personal list. But the highlight of the flight was the windows and the very spacious feel. It was just a smooth and good ride. I really like the A220, and I would certainly fly it again. I'll take it over any narrow body, honestly, truthfully. And here we are at Dulles. I've always loved the architecture of the main terminal. It's bold and iconic. But yeah, some of the other parts of the airport haven't aged as nicely. If you enjoyed this trip, touch down on that like button and be on the lookout for more content like this. And if you can, fly on that A220-300.